Every single thing is just the one mind. When you have perceived this, you will have mounted the chariot of the Buddhas. Every single thing is just a one mind. And when you have perceived this, you will have mounted the chariot of the Buddhas. If you understand, things are just as they are. If you do not understand, things are just as they are. Sitting quietly, doing nothing. Spring comes, and the grass grows by itself. A flower falls, even though we love it. And a weed grows, even though we do not love it. If you cannot find the truth right where you are, where else do you expect to find it? Thank you everyone, thank you so much. Thank you for joining in this Zen meditation. And so these expressions were, except for the first one, from Dogen, our Zen buddy, our Zen Master. And so continuing today with the jewel. And the jewel that is inside of you, the recognition of your enlightenment, and the other part that is included in it is in fact the kingdom of heaven, which is the pearl within you. And those two are the same idea. So one coming from Zen and the other coming from the New Testament, specifically Matthew 13, where Jesus starts to express parables. So we're going to listen to Matthew 13. That's one of the things on the program, so to speak. And the expressions of Dogen, I kept it really short, in fact, just to share the essence of it, because that's where it comes down to all the time, like the essence. But See, sometimes you need some examples or some more words to add to it, or some more quiet, or some lifting up that brings you in the right place to actually open your ears. So that is the invitation today. And it started with, like, I saw this on the website, like, yay, yay, let your yay be yay and your nay be nay. And that's also from Matthew 6, I think it is, or Matthew 5, from the Sermon on the Mount, where Jesus, in fact, says, like, well, you don't have to do anything on oath. You don't have to swear or something, like to put force to your yes. It's like, no, just let your yes be yes and your no be no. Now this consistency is what we see and what we bring in a lot, because finally it has to do with the awakening is very consistent. It's like coming to a very consistent point within yourself, where your thinking and your actions and your like what you think and what you do and what you say becomes one thing. The integration of that is what brings you to the jewel, you could say. That is where it comes together. So if you still have a way out of your what you say and what you do and what you think are different things, then there's an inconsistency, and the only one that experiences the conflict of that is you. So this expanded the idea of the jewel came to me from the book of Dogen. I got this from a talk from Osho. Osho taught Dogen quite a bit, so some of the expressions of Dogen I use from his scripts, so that's why I use it today too. It's like they come from a talk of him, but he adds always extra words in between, and so I look for the pure Dogen expressions, just like I looked in the other book, The Treasure of the True Dharma Eye. But that's all just, you can be sure that what is being shared with you here is the pure Dogen. Dogen said, when Xuan Sha became enlightened, he said to other monks, the whole universe is a brilliant jewel of the Buddha mind. The whole universe is a brilliant jewel of the Buddha mind. This brilliant jewel is originally nameless. This jewel is eternally unchangeable. It is boundless from beginning to end. The whole universe is one brilliant jewel, not two or three. So the brilliant jewel is originally nameless. This jewel is eternally unchangeable. It is boundless from beginning to end. The whole universe is one brilliant jewel, not two or three. The whole jewel is the Buddha's eye, truth itself. One phrase of truth, the light of enlightenment. The whole jewel is the Buddha's eye, truth itself, one phrase of truth, the light of enlightenment. The brilliant jewel. The whole universe is a brilliant jewel of the Buddha mind. This brilliant jewel is originally nameless. This jewel is eternally unchangeable. It is boundless from beginning to end. The whole universe is one brilliant jewel, not two or three. The whole jewel is the Buddha's eye, truth itself, one phrase of truth, the light of enlightenment. So this is what it is. Now, that doesn't make a lot of sense if you try to understand it. So there's a different way to look at this too. And that's really lovely. But how are you going to teach that? And this is where Jesus comes in. It's like, how did Jesus actually teach this? Like he came with the Course in Miracles. He came with in the New Testament. He shared his teaching. He was teaching for 3 years only, so it was a short period. Like, of course, as a child, he was teaching in these synagogues too, but like really as a so-called public figure, he did that 3 years. And so, how did he do that? He recognized that most of us, so to speak, could not hear what he was saying. Like, what does a human being, to put it plainly, what does a human being have to do with truth? Like, how would it help him? Maybe as a magical story with magical powers that you hopefully can use one day too as a fantasy. That would already be great. Or as an healing entity that could heal sicknesses and restore people to sanity. They're like, wow, that's great if you have a character like that, or you are that advanced that you could do that. But this is basically how people would, and you might have recognized yourself in that too at a certain point. It's like, that's how you think that would be. And of course, to share expressions like we just did from Dogen, it's like to talk about the first expression of somebody who just, say, received his enlightenment. He starts to speak in terms, in words, in sentences, phrases that don't make any sense to a human being. Even if you would just take the message, like the whole universe is a perfect jewel, it's like, yeah, that's great as poetry or something. It's great as you could say anything about that. So listening with your human ears, it does not make any sense, and it's like it's useless information. It's like that doesn't take the crops from the land, or that doesn't recover the sickness that I'm experiencing. So the practicality of being a human being, being in the mesmerism of a temporal existence, has no relationship with truth whatsoever. Now this is what Jesus knew too. So he tried to convey what he is saying by a language, in a way, a language that people could actually make some sense out of. And like the parable is like, it makes some sense. What are you going to tell a human being about the kingdom of heaven? So that's great if you listen to it like that. So you might, like, and this is why I use the perfect jewel too, is you might just have experienced like, I have no idea what this means. I have no idea what this means. It's like, how can I hear this? Like, that really has to be revealed to me, because it doesn't make any sense to me to hear this. Now you might recognize that. So that's why I use it. And so the next step then, Jesus starts to speak in parables, but not necessarily to his disciples, because their ears are open and they actually start to see with Christ's vision. And that's what Jesus says to them too. It's like, your eyes are opened and you can hear. And this is the same for you. If you listen to this, you have heard something, like something has been opened in you. Otherwise, you would definitely not listen to this. So this recognition part is something that I want to say focus on, in a sense. It's like you can compare yourself with the disciples, because their ears were opened, their eyes were opened to see beyond the mesmerism, catch glimpses from beyond that, having had experiences of unexplainable love and sense of grace or gratitude for no reason whatsoever. Not because you did something, but that just suddenly came to you. Like, these experiences are placing you already in a totally different realm than a human being. And this is where we continue on. It's like, this is our transformational path. And that's why it's good to use sometimes some words to say, bring this path to the service. I love to do that. Because being consciously aware of all the steps that you take, in fact, in this path, and all the obstacles that you seem to have to go through, or something like this, seeing them falling away when you are in an experience of the perfect jewel, you could say, is really what we're discovering here. So for now, let's take a listen to the podcast that I made from reading Matthew 13, listening to the parables that he's sharing. Jesus shares about, I think, 8 or 9 parables, continuously talking about the kingdom of heaven is like, the kingdom of heaven is like this, the kingdom of heaven is like that. Now, see if you can if you can hear what Jesus is saying. He says, like, those who have ears, they should hear, and those who have eyes, they should see. And if you can hear this, that's amazing. This is the same as when we listen to Master Teacher. Master Teacher says all the time, can you hear this? Can you actually hear this, what I'm saying? I have no idea. So here is it going a little bit further too. It's like, this is the same as anyone is teaching truth in terms of a recognition. It's like the recognition is in the experience. It is not in the understanding. So this is really where you open up for. So that takes relaxation. That takes time, like we did with the meditation. You have to calm down your mind and really open up. It's like, yeah, here you are again. You're opening up for truth, to actually listen to it. And that's a practice. That's a real discipline. Constantly, on a day-by-day basis, opening yourself up for truth. Because the easiest way would be to deny it to a certain degree, at a certain point, and that you're past that. But it's like, it takes effort to release your own idea about yourself, to set your own ideas aside, and recognizing there's only one life, and that I share with God. There's only one jewel, and that's the whole universe. That's my whole mind recognizing itself. Now that is my focus, but I forget it easily during the night, even during the day. When I wake up in the morning, I might as well dismiss my meditation. No, I don't. I'm standing still. I get up early, or however I do that. First thing I do is pick up my book, expose myself to truth, opening myself to what is occurring. This is the discipline. opening myself to a guidance that is not my mind, a guidance that is not my thoughts telling me what to do. My guidance is not images that I find attractive to go for today. No, it is imageless, it is changeless. It brings me always to the same spot. Matthew 13 from the Aramaic Bible in plain English. But that day Joshua went out from the house, and he sat down by the seaside. And great crowds were assembled to him, so that he embarked, seating himself in a ship. And all the crowds were standing on the beach by the sea. And he was speaking much with them in parables. And he said, Behold, a sower went out to sow. But as he sowed, some seed fell on the side of the road, and a bird came and ate it. And others fell on the rock, where there was not much soil. And within the hour it sprouted, because there was no depth of soil. But when the sun rose, it became hot, and because there were no roots, it dried up. And others fell among the thorns, and the thorns came up and choked it. And others fell in the good soil, and it yielded fruit. Some 100-fold, some 60-fold, and some 30-fold. Whoever has an ear that hears, let him hear. And his disciples approached, and they were saying to him, Why are you speaking with them in parables? But he answered and said to them, It has been given to you to know the secrets of the kingdom of heaven, but to them it has not been given. For to one who has it, it will be given, and it will be increased. And from him who has it not, it will be taken even that which he has. Therefore I am speaking to them in parables, because they who see do not see, and those who hear neither hear nor understand. And the prophecy of Isaiah is fulfilled in them which say, Hearing you will hear, and you will not understand, and seeing you will see, and you will not know. For the heart of this people has become dense, and they have hardly heard with their ears, and their eyes they have shut, lest they would see with their eyes, and they would hear with their ears, and they would understand in their hearts, and they would be converted, and I would heal them. But you have blessings to your eyes, for they are seeing, and your ears, for they are hearing. For I say to you that many prophets and righteous ones have yearned to see the things that you are seeing, and they did not see them, and to hear the things that you are hearing, and they did not hear them. But hear the parable of the seed. Everyone who hears the word of God and does not understand, the evil one comes into him and snatches the word that was sown in his heart. This is that which was sown upon the roadside, but that which is sown upon the rock is the one who hears the word, and immediately with joy he receives it, but there are no roots in him. But he is temporal, and when there is distress or persecution because of the word, immediately he falls apart. That which was sown among the thorns is the one who hears the word, and the cares of this world and the deception of wealth choke the word, and that one is fruitless. But that which was sown on the good soil is he who hears my word and understands, and he yields fruit and produces some by the hundreds, and some by the 60s, and some by the 30s. He told them another parable. He said, "The kingdom of heaven is likened to the man who sowed good seed in his field. And while men slept, his enemy came and sowed tares among the wheat, and he left. But when the grass sprouted, it produced fruit. Then the tares also appeared. And the servants of the Lord of the house approached and said to him, 'Our Lord, did you not sow good seed in your field? From where are the tares in it?' But he said to them, 'An enemy has done this.' His servants said to him, 'Do you want us to go select them out?' But he said to them, 'When you collect the tares, would you not uproot the wheat with them? Let both grow together until harvest, and in the harvest time I shall say to the reapers, select out the tares first and bind them into bundles to burn, but gather the wheat to my granary.' He told another parable to them and said, 'The kingdom of heaven is likened to a grain of mustard seed, which a man had taken and sown in his field. And this is the smallest of all seeds, but whenever it has grown, it is greatest of all small herbs, and it becomes a tree so that the birds of the sky may come and settle in its branches.' He told them another parable. 'The kingdom of heaven is likened to yeast, which a woman took and hid in 3 measures of a meal until all of it had fermented.' Jesus spoke all these things in parables to the crowds, and without a parable he was not speaking with them, so that the thing that was spoken by the prophet would be fulfilled, which says, 'I shall open my mouth in parables, and I shall declare things hidden from before the foundation of the world.' Then Joshua left the crowd and came to the house, and his disciples came to him, and they were saying to him, 'Explain to us that parable of the tares of the field.' But he answered and said to them, 'He who sowed the good seed is the Son of Man. The field is the world, but the good seed is the children of the kingdom, and the tares are the children of the evil one. The enemy who sowed them is Satan, but the harvest is the end of the world, and the reapers are the angels. Therefore, just as the tares are gathered and burned in the fire, so it will in the end of this world. The Son of Man will send his angels, and they will select from his kingdom all of those stumbling blocks and all of those evildoers, and they will cast them into the essence of fire. There will be weeping and gnashing of teeth. Then the righteous will shine as the sun in the kingdom of their Father. Whoever has an ear that will hear, let him hear." Again, the kingdom of heaven is likened to a treasure that was hidden in a field, which a man found and hid, and for his joy he went selling everything that he had, and he bought that field. But again, the kingdom of heaven is likened to the merchant man who was searching for precious pearls. But when he found a certain obviously valuable pearl, he went and sold everything he had and bought it. Again, the kingdom of heaven is like a net that was cast into the sea, and it collected from every kind. But when it was full, they brought it up to the seashore, and they sat and selected out, and they placed the good in vessels, and the bad they threw out. Thus it will be in the end of the world. The angels will go forth, and they will separate the wicked among the righteous, and they will cast them into the essence of fire. There will be weeping and gnashing of teeth. Joshua said to them, "Have you understood all these things?" They were saying to him, "Yes, our Lord." He said to them, "And because of this, every scribe who is instructed for the kingdom of heaven is like a man, a house owner, who brings from his treasure new and old things." And it was that when Joshua had finished these parables, he departed from there. And he came to his city, and he taught them in their synagogues, so that they would marvel, and they would say, "From where does he have this wisdom and the miracles? Is it not the carpenter's son? Is it not his mother called Miriam? And his brothers Jacob and Joseph and Simeon and Jedua? And are not all his sisters with us? From where does he have all these things?" And they were suspicious of him. But Joshua said to them, "There is no prophet who is despised except in his city and in his home." And he did not do many miracles there because of their suspicion. Sharing with you this expression one more time. The whole universe is a brilliant jewel of the Buddha mind. The brilliant jewel is originally nameless. This jewel is eternally unchangeable. It is boundless from beginning to end. The whole universe is one brilliant jewel, not two or three. The whole jewel is the Buddha's eye, truth itself. One phrase of truth. The light of enlightenment. Thank you so much. So here we are in the middle of our Zen training, and which is really lovely. So thank you for participating in that. That's really great. So now it is like, well, these things that we're talking about, these things that are explained over and over, these things that are brought to the attention, all this is like cannot be explained. And you know this, you know that too, that has been told many times. So it's like the intimacy of this individual project, you could say, this individual change that is occurring within you. It is so individual. That's unbelievable. So this, you need to, in that sense, you need to stay with it and stay in it in order for the change to see that occur. And so with what we've heard today is like, 9 different expressions of Jesus to whoever wants to hear it. In what is the kingdom of heaven? Like, what is it? You get a hint of it. You get an idea about it. Something is stirred up when Jesus is saying these things. It's like that's really beautiful teaching. And then even the disciples were with him. Their eyes and ears were opened, and still they had questions about how is this working and what do you mean by that? And explain to us, what is this and what is that? See, now the thing that you see happen during the time with Jesus and his disciples is even up to the last moment when he came back to them, is that he's talking about a place. You see this, it's like he's talking about a place, like, I'm going away and you cannot come to that place. Now this is a beautiful description, in fact, of as long as you think that you are you cannot come with me, because you have literally, you use the description and the definition of the place that you find yourself. You identify with the name that you're being called at, and that's why you cannot come. It's like that was literally what Jesus said to them. It's like, you cannot come to this place, because Thomas said, I want to come with you. And he said, well, you cannot come with me. You cannot come to that place. And that seems like a separation moment, but of course that is not a separation moment. It is an invitation to rebirth. Now that's the same as the Buddhas, or the monks and the Buddhas. It's like the monk and the Zen patriarchs, they don't meet in the same place up to the moment that they eventually do. Then suddenly you recognize that you're, say, on the mountain of the Buddhas, and that you're of one mind. You recognize yourself to be of one mind. Now this is an interesting discovery continuously, because we deal with it all the time. In our transformation, of course, it's like we deal with this all the time. So the moment, you can have one moment in which you cannot hear a thing, and the next moment suddenly something starts to dawn. Suddenly there's an opening in your consciousness and you actually hear what it says. So that's the miraculousness of this. So now here we are. It's like bringing the thing that you don't have to do here, and which is really part of the discipline. It's like, this is what you don't have to do, is try to bring this with you and try to understand what it says. It's like, no, that is already, it's too late. Forget about that. Forget about what's being shared. Forget about all of it. So here's a new moment. This is the moment to enter into this. This is like, has nothing to do with, no relationship with anything that has occurred, and this is the only time that is real about where communication is possible. So any attempt to do it better, to adjust your path or your program, your plan, to adjust it, is literally covering the now. And so that's really the biggest, maybe the hardest thing in our discipline that we do, to release continuously, to allow for a new moment to occur. Because the mind is lazy, you could say. The mind is lazy, it's looking for patterns to we saw this before too in the arts. It's like the tendency to come to automation is something of the mind. It wants to do things automatically. Whether that's AI, whether that's who knows what kind of automation you use. But here in your mind, it is an essential part of the human mind to automate. And this automation has no purpose. It has no other goal than to perpetuate what it knows as what it is. So this asks for an activity of mind that is not within a sleeping mind. So like your mind needs to be alert, it needs to be shaken up. in order to come to it. And the shaking up can come to deep frustration that you feel for the situation that seems to be perpetuating itself. Like that is an activation of mind, nothing else. So, and here is the healing aspect, you could say, of that principle. Because you see that at work, whether you like it or not. You see that at work continuously. It's like the active mind. The mind needs to be activated because it needs to be redirected continuously. It wants to sleep and it says, "Oh, please leave me alone. I want to go. I want to sleep. Give me food. Give me a bed, and I'll sleep. I will be comfortable in my own nothingness. Please leave me here." That's in fact the very sad song, and a song with only one note, and it's said to be the E minor. It's like a depressed sound of, "Oh, leave me alone. No, not again. Oh no." And so that the training here is then to allow your mind to be activated by you stepping into a new adventure every moment that you're aware that you have a choice. The choice is then to not continue what you were doing, but to release all that and to give everything away, all your investment in time and space, all your investment in what you think was so helpful to stay comfortable in your sleepiness, you could say. And that's a tough discipline, because in fact nobody asks you to do anything, so it really has to come from you. If you want to experience the truth, this is an essential step. That's inevitable. Now here we are in our Zen training or in our New Testament training, and using both to slap ourselves a little bit by okay, here are the parables of Jesus. He shared them with the people of the world, the ones that were actually looking for free meals and all this, and like the benefits and the perks of the Messiah. And he taught them. He tries to convey to them what is the kingdom of heaven and what on earth are you doing here. So look at your situations. What we said yesterday is like this is a continuation of that. Look at your situation. You constantly, your mind is programmed to constantly look for comfort, safety, enough food, enough money, enough rest, enough this and that. And so it can sleep. So it can stay exactly in the spot where it already is and sinks a little bit deeper into it. So here's our Zen training, here's our Course in Miracles, here's our New Testament, and Jesus shaking everyone up. Like, look what you're doing. It's like you will be gnashing your teeth. You will be so frustrated that you did not pick it up, that you did not allow yourself to give everything away, that all these things. It's like, if you want that pearl, sell everything, like leave everything behind and go for that. Allow that to be your first priority, no matter what, no matter how uncomfortable it seems to be or is for a moment. Because it will literally be the gate or the way for you to open up the kingdom of heaven within your consciousness. Like, you will die in your process, but you will come to the place where Jesus went after his so-called resurrection. Oh, that is a resurrection. After a so-called death. When he resurrected, you resurrected. This is you. This is your story. So there's a perfect jewel. If you have any idea how perfect a jewel is, you will have to find out. You will have to let that be revealed to you. So you can say the only real part of your mind is the revelatory part of your mind. The rest is not real at all. So let things be revealed to you. Don't try to understand it. Like, go beyond that. Go deeply into into openness to have it be revealed to you.